Welcome to the Friends in Film podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights into succeeding in the film industry that you will not hear about anywhere. Not in film school, not online, not even from the people on film sets. I teach you the art of building a career in a connection-based business. You've been through the awareness phase, you've been through the fascination phase, maybe you went to film school, but now it's time for the implementation phase, and that's what this is all about. Having an extraordinary successful career in the professional film industry. I believe that we don't actually truly use our goal as something that we can live into. I think a lot of us have a goal, but we don't really believe it. We're not really living into it. We're not really like every single effing day looking at what our goal is and saying, what have I done that catapults me towards this goal? Who am I meeting? What work am I doing? What credits am I getting? What am I learning that is catapulting me towards this goal? The goal has to be big. The goal has to be real for you and something that you embody, something that you are taking on this is who you are. The goal and you are one. Not someday I hope to get there. I'd love to be an actor. I'd love to be a director. I'd love to be a DP. No, if you want to be a DP working for Netflix, then you need to be on Netflix sets now, working in the camera department. If you want to be a director for Netflix, then you need to be on Netflix sets right now, meeting directors, meeting DPs, meeting producers, finding your people that you are making your projects with. Getting those connections and relationships for real to be able to be a Netflix director. If you want to be a Netflix actor, and what actor doesn't want to be on Netflix or HBO or Showtime? If that's truly what you want to be, then you need to be on sets meeting other working actors that are connected into at that level. You need to get with agents that can connect you into that level. How are you going to be able to do that? You need to start getting acting credits in order to attract those kind of agents. How do you do that? You get on sets and you work with other people that is just normal to them, that they've got a Netflix show coming up, that they got a TV show coming up. So we need to actually believe in our goal and make it part of ourselves. Many of us, I believe, are thinking of our goal as something that we someday hope will get there. We're thinking of our goal like something that we're kind of working towards and we hope is going to happen. No more. That's never going to get you there. When I started, my goal was to work for National Geographic. I want to travel the frickin' world working for National Geographic. That was a big goal. That's an unrealistic goal. Most people think that goal is ridiculous. But that was a beautiful goal because that goal was something that I had to live into in order to make happen. You don't just land working for National Geographic. Everybody here can understand that, right? And I knew that too. So this was a goal where I had to meet wildlife filmmakers. I had to go where they go. I had to know what equipment they used. I needed to know all of their work. So you can see how that very specific goal drew me into becoming a National Geographic filmmaker, which is why I have this Emmy Award, for National Geographic. Right there. It says it all right there. And this is what I want for you too. I want to take, the secret is to take the same intensity that I had working for National Geographic and apply that same kind of intensity towards exactly what you guys want, exactly where you want to go. All right, so behind me on the board is a guidance that I want us all to use now together to create this goal. So the goal is not going to be vague anymore. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm working towards this. 10 years will pass in a blink of an eye and you'll be no closer. And all your connections will be other people that want to also be in the film industry. You had enough of that time. You spent enough of that time. COVID time was enough of that time. COVID time, you should have been on film sets. It was so freaking busy during COVID. That was the perfect time to get into film. And a lot of people are like, oh no, I can't. So don't let yourself, the thing between you and your dreams is we talk ourselves out of our dreams. It's crazy. We think that the film industry is like a unicorn. So therefore we want to be an actor for Netflix, but find ourselves working in post-production for a while, or we're working in marketing, or we're working in, doing photography or doing production design for still shoots. It's related, but it's not exactly what I want to do. My love has always been acting for feature films, but all this time has passed and you have not been building the connections and relationships and being on these sets consistently for the goal that you have. You can change this. What's going on here? That so many people are doing this. This is what I was thinking this morning. I'm like, what is going on here? I think it's because we go to school, they kind of tell us what to study, and then we go in the class and we're with other people and we study that thing. And then we come out and we're like, well, now what should I do? And now we had class that was telling us what to do. Now we don't know what to do. Now it's the big world. So now we're like, my mom just kind of distracted me. She just texted me. So now we're like, okay, so this goal that I have, it's really big, like DPing, directing, acting. I mean, that's not going to just be so easy. Like, that's probably not going to happen. And everybody in my life is saying, oh, good luck with that. Can't you get a real job? So everybody is setting us up to think that this is probably not going to happen for ourselves. So therefore, we're like, well, I should probably try to, there's an opportunity. I'll work with making some videos. And then I'll do some editing work. And I'm hoping that somehow it leads me to an opportunity where I meet somebody and they're going to take off and then I'll take off, maybe, I'm hoping. So this is what is effing us up big time. We don't have a solid goal and we don't believe in our goal. But we can. So here is what, here on the board here is a question I have for you. What are you using your life for? That's said in a very strong way. It's like, hey, your life is passing. My life is passing. What are we using our lives for? Answer that question, and that will help you pinpoint exactly where you're going, what you are using your life for in your mind. What's the most important thing for you? So the first question in this part is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Like, ask yourself from your heart. And you probably know this already. I want to act. I want to DP. I want to direct. I want to write. I want to costume design. You know what you want to do. Okay, great. That is your number one absolute focus now. That's what you want to do. Your number one focus. Now, the next part, ask yourself, in what sector? This will give you clarity. This will give you now direction. In what sector? There's many sectors in the film industry. There's commercials, there's feature films, there's TV shows, there's reality TV, there's documentary, there's nighttime television, there's all sorts of stuff, right? So in what sector? Now, many of you guys probably want to do feature films. Okay, so that's great. Or TV. Maybe it's film and TV. So just clarify, I want to be a director working in feature films, making how much by when? This is a very important question because this is where it all falls apart for you guys. Where it all falls apart for most people. They're like, oh, I want to be a director, but I don't want to say how much I'm going to make, and I don't want to say by when, because what if I don't make it? This is where we screw it all up right there. We know that we want to direct, but then 10 years later, we still know that we want to direct. And we don't have any of the connections. None of the production companies know us. We've made a few films. We've been to film festivals. But the problem is we did not commit to ourselves and start that pathway. So that's why I'm asking you, how much by when? So how much money do you want to make as a director by when? This just allows you to take your brain and go like, okay, I'd like to make at least $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, whatever it is, maybe $1 million. But maybe start with, if I was going to make $100,000 in the film industry as a director or just working in camera, DP, all these other related jobs on a professional film set, not doing videography, but on a film set in feature films. If I was going to make that much money, create that much value, what would I need to be doing? Who would I need to know? What would I need to have? Would I need to be thinking? The dollar figure is very important because that will make us not fuck around. Because I wanted to travel the world working for National Geographic. So if I'm going to travel the world working, that means I'm going to get paid. That means I got to have all these producers at National Geographic know who I am. That means I got to learn a craft. That means I got to know my stuff. That means, I've got to have gotten paid and have it actually be a career before I'm going to work for National Geographic. So that's what we're here for. We're actually here to be a director and have it be a career. Like, that's what we do for a living. And it's not going to be a lucky chance anymore. This is what we are deciding, what we're committing to, that we're going to do for a living. And the most beautiful thing about making a goal that's this serious, is this will be a goal that will inform you. It will give you the direction. It will turn you into the person that you need to become. It will turn you into the person that you need to become in order to accomplish that goal. And that, my friend, is the most important part of this whole process, is the person that you become when you have reached that goal. That's the whole point of the goal. It's a lot of us are just like, oh, I'm not directing yet, so I'm mad. I'm not there yet. We envision like us being in the goal and being loved by everybody and getting paid the money and calling the creative shots. We envision that, and then we look at where we're at and we're like, well, I'm nowhere near that. And then now we're a little bit bummed off. We're a little bit pissed off. And we get pissed at maybe ourselves. We get pissed at the world. We're like, why don't they make it this easier? They should just, let me in. All these other people should just leave so that I can come in and start making my ideas. So when we look at it like, I just want to be at the goal, the destination is the point, then we lose all of our power because we look at where we're at today and we're nowhere near that. And now we've used that goal against us. And we're like, I'm not near that goal. And we just notice all the things, how far we are away, and what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with us. That's what happens when you just have the goal as the destination as being the most important part. The most important part is not the destination. The most important part of making a goal like this is to prompt you to jump into action so that every day you are actually doing what's going to create that value in the sector that you want to be in for what you want to do. DP, feature films, $100,000 within 2 years. That's not bad. Actor, feature films, $100,000 within 1 year. DP, feature films and TV shows, $200,000 within 2 years. It doesn't matter to me the time frame. It's just putting the figures on the piece of paper and then believing it. Like, this is what I'm using my life for. When you do this, you guys, you will become so much more powerful and you'll feel so much better. Because the goal today being vague, oh, I want to be a director someday. I want to be an actor. I'd love to be an actor. This goal, that goal, said like that, not specific, this is hurting you. Because you just see that you're not there, you're not even near there, and you just think that the destination of when you get there, you think that that's the point. No, the point is that who you become in the pursuit of the goal, that's the whole point. And it also makes you get to your goal too. That's what's so cool about it, is when you have arrived at the goal where you are a director making $100,000 in feature films, you will have become the person that can do that. You will have become that person. And it won't even be how you envision, like what it's like when you're actually there. You will just know that every day you met the people, you went on the sets, you learned so much, you spent a lot of days in the production office, you pitched a lot of stuff, you learned to pitch, you watched the best directors, you aligned yourself with the best directors. You freaking really did it for real. You'll know that. And that is good. And then you'll be like, well, of course, I had to become that person. There's no other way that I could be a director making $100,000 if I didn't do all these things. Do you see the difference? It's like, every day is used towards catapulting yourself towards the goal when you make it a specific goal. I'm so grateful that I had National Geographic as my goal, because it's like, okay, if you're going to have that goal, you cannot sit on your ass and hope that somehow I'm going to work in videography for a little while, or, oh, I'm going to take an editing job. Oh, I think I'll go work at the theater for a little while, to pay off some of my debts. I'd be like, what are we talking about? It's like, you want to work for National Geographic? Okay, you got to fly across the country and meet the wildlife filmmakers. You got to study all their films, know more than they do, and offer to help out and start getting some internships that you create yourself with these people. Start assisting them, working on their sets and learning and what they know, meeting all of their connections. Like, that's what I had to do in order to break into that sector. That was my sector. So there's no way I could go slow. That would be ridiculous, that I'm going to work somewhere else and pay off my debt and see how things go. And I've just got to work on my screenplay right now. And ridiculous. And the reason why we are not having success, you guys, if you're not having the success that you want, the reason why is you've not done this for yourself. You've not created a specific goal, what you want to do in the sector that you want to be in, and the money that you want to make in the time frame. You haven't done that yet. And the reason why you haven't done that is because maybe you haven't thought about it. You haven't been prompted to do it. You're like, hey, that's a good idea. Maybe now you feel this way and you're like, yes, I should do that. But you might be, a part of you, a little bit afraid to do that, because then it's like, well, now I committed to it. What do I get myself into in my own brain? Now, I think that you should say DP, feature films, or actor, feature films, $100,000 within 2 years. I think you should do that. I think you should say that. I think you should tell everybody that. I think you should post it on Facebook. I think that you should just tell your family, everybody. I did. I said, I'm going to travel the world working for National Geographic. Everybody thought I was crazy. They thought I was nuts. They're like, what do you know? You never even been to the zoo. But it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. All that matters is that you want to do it, because it's your life. You're the one that's going to be doing it, not them. They're not the ones. Hold on. Another phone call. They are not the ones. Let Instagram catch up to me. The people that have opinions about your goal, well, pretty much they're irrelevant. Even if there's somebody that's supporting you with money, because you need to support yourself with money. You're the one that has the big goal. So you need to step up in the way that you are behaving and have behaviors that are consistent with the big goal that you're creating. So you don't need anybody to support you. In fact, the more people that said no to me or said that was ridiculous, the more that I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Sorry, but I'm doing this. It motivated me. I think this is really good, actually, because then you just use that as more energy to get to this goal. And you have a specific goal. And you know that if you put a dollar figure on it, you know that you cannot screw around. You have to learn the skills, meet the people, get on the sets. You have to do it for real. And you know where you're going, because you know what sector that you're going to be in, and you know what you want to do. So because you've decided what you want to do. So then you know that there's a lot of other people that are doing that same goal. They're doing those same jobs in that sector. You know that you want to meet those people. How are you going to meet them? You got to get on sets consistently and meet them and work with them. Be friends with them. So it's like, there's really no mystery here. Why are we making this so difficult? And the reason why we make things difficult is because we don't want to fail. We are afraid to fail. But then what we end up with is a life that we don't feel alive, where we have failed. I think that we have failed. If we do not pursue our desires, we have failed. And unfortunately, you find out years later. So if you're finding yourself not wanting to commit to a goal like this, ask yourself why. Why? And if your brain says, because I'm afraid to fail, tell yourself again, that is not a valid reason. Because the fact is we're like, I don't want to fail. Well, the fact is, if you look at your life today in regards to your goal that you have, you're already failing. So you've already experienced the worst part. So you're like, I want to be a director making $100,000. And you're like, I don't want to try and do that and fail. Well, you're already experiencing the worst part because you're nowhere near that goal. So you have nothing to lose. You have only to gain. And that is the beauty of the goal. It's not actual attaining the goal. It's who you become in the process of pursuing your goal, pursuing your desires. You guys, I hope that helps. I've been thinking about this all day yesterday and all this morning. I've been thinking about this because I'm like, so many people have big goals, but they're not specific. They don't really want to say them. And if I ask them, they're going to be they don't want to tell me because they don't really want to say it and then not hit the mark. It's not about not hitting the mark. It's about how are you using your life every day. It gives you direction. It makes you effective. It makes you take effective action in the world. So you're not going to be happy wasting 3 months working in a theater. You're not going to be happy, doing something related to film, but it's not really film. It's like photography, or it's a film festival, or it's a music festival. It's related. It'd be fun, but it's not your freaking goal. You won't be happy anymore doing stuff that's unrelated, and that's good because stuff is keeping you, it's busy work in relation to this goal, which you want, which would be, say, an actor, feature films, making 100 grand in 2 years. In relation to that, all of that other stuff is all busy work. It's keeping you from your goal. So when you become clear on your goal, now is when you start accomplishing your goal, because you start thinking about, who do I need to meet? What people do I need to meet? What companies do I need to be working with? How many shoots do I need to be on? What skills do I need to have? Consistent work. Where is it? Where can I go it? Where can I find it? It's the essence of vectoring, which is what I teach in my programs. Vectoring. That's how I get you guys there so freaking fast into feature films and TV shows, into Netflix, into MTV. It's vectoring. People, companies, consistent work, and a great vibe. Where does a great vibe come from? Being a nice person, but also, you're serious about your goal, and everybody can tell that. So it's like, I like having that person around. I want to be with them for 12 hours a day. And it's not all about you. It's about you in relationship to other people, what we're creating together in the world, in the film industry. And that's a great vibe. So you will attract people to you. You'll attract all the right people to you, but you got to be on sets in order to meet them, for them to be attracted to you. So that's what I do, is I get you on these sets. How do I do that? I show you what to do to get on these sets, so you're music to the ears of the people that hire you. That's through vectoring. That's what we do. We vector for 10 months. We vector together. I help you vector. It's awesome, with this goal in mind, so you get there faster. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'm so glad that I got to be able to tell you all this. Tell me what you think. Okay, tell me. I want to hear it all. All right, everybody. And if you left a comment on Instagram, do you mind just taking it and putting it in the message me? Message me, because I'm going to leave the live call. I'm not going to see your comments. So message me what you just put there. Just message it to me, and then I'll look at it, and I can respond back to you. But yeah, I want to know if this made sense to you and if it made impact for you. All right, you guys. All right. Love you guys. If you are ready to work in the film industry and you want to now take your career to that next level, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. You can learn our implementation system, and then you can even take it all the way by doing our flagship program, the Into the Industry program. It all starts with friendsinfilm.com/join. See you there.